Hello sewing friends, and welcome to another episode of Sequin Girly Creates. Today's episode is behind the scenes of how we think as sewists and how we plan a collab together. So you're going to get to see Sarah from Sew Sarah Style and myself talking about the marble pattern by Closet Core. You'll hear us planning it, and then you'll get to see us sharing our toiles with each other. But then you have to watch each other's episode to find out the reveal, so stay around to see my final version at the end. Okay, so this is our first ever collab together, and it's only the second time we've ever spoken, isn't it? Because you came on one of the virtuals.
Yeah.
So
hello again.
Hello. So you and I are both part of the Closet Core crew.
Yeah.
And we've actually had quite a few like Instagram chats about the patterns, haven't we, as they've been and gone. And this one, as soon as it came out, as you said, we messaged about it. So it's called the Marble Top by Closet Core. You can only get it if you're part of one of the crew packages. So you've got the package that means you only access them this year's ones as they come out,
just
haven't
this
you?
year's, yeah. So I can't get hold of any of the old ones. So it was just, I think it was an offer at the beginning of the year. So it's just the
I think it was like a Black Friday thing or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
And it's really nice. I like doing it like this because we can work it out together.
Yeah, and I think so, because this is definitely something that's going to need to be worked out. I think this is an unusual pattern.
It is, and I was looking at the line drawing. I've got it on my other laptop, and there's a lot of pieces, isn't there?
Yeah, it was funny because literally the day it came out, you texted me and said, what do you think of the new pattern? I hadn't had a huge chance to have a look at it, but the first thing I said to you was, really interesting, possibly slightly over-engineered, but I really want to make it up. And the reason I said that was because of all the seam lines, because I'm not sure what's going where, and then there's a V-notch at the back. There's just a lot going on with this pattern.
I'm really not sure about that V-notch at all.
Is it necessary?
Because I was thinking, is it for movement? But you've got so much fabric at the front that I don't understand why you need that for movement at the back.
It's maybe to balance out everything that's going on at the front, perhaps. I don't know. So the back isn't too plain. But to my mind, I'm a bit of a minimalist. So I'm not that fussed about the V-notch. But
I'm not.
I might just make it as it is and see. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. What about you?
Well, I sometimes try and encourage myself to follow as per pattern for first go.
Yeah.
Really do I stick to that after the first go, but I am really struggling with that V-notch.
It is. So I am going to, do you know what? I am going to make it as per the pattern. Definitely.
Yeah. I'll try to.
Well, it doesn't matter if one of us does and one of us doesn't.
Yes.
There you go. We can see it both ways.
I know. My biggest worry is that it'll sit at the top of my bottom and then that V will split out and rest over my bottom. So, but they're very, very good at their measurements though. So I should be able to measure that because they normally do a back measurement, don't they?
So have you had a good look at the measurements? Because they seem quite generous to me. I know I've had a little sneaky peek. Well, in fact, I've already printed out my pattern, so I've made.
I've got my pattern printed here. I got it printed by CLC Prints. Did you print yours out yourself?
I did, and that's why I wanted to go for the layered option because look, I've just got the one lovely line to follow. But yeah, so I needed to.
I can't be doing my sticking PDFs together. It's just
this wasn't too bad, but yeah, I had a look. So if you have a look at the garment measurements, the finished garments, I think it's really important because obviously it is a generous top because you want it to flow. Well, the whole point is that it flows. But I'm sure you're the same as me. The most important thing, I've got narrow shoulders and I want it to fit on my shoulders. So I'm not so worried about the rest of it. But so long as it's not too big on my shoulders.
Yeah, and Closet Core do come up big. The mile end, I had to size down 3 sizes for it not to look like I'd stolen someone's jumper. It was just there's boxing oversize, and then when you're petite like us, boxing oversize can so easily look like it doesn't belong to you, doesn't it? And I ended up going down 3 of their sizings. I'm just having a look because if I did what they said, I would be a size 12.
Wow.
Like if I went just by the size chart.
Yeah.
But if I now look at the finish measurements, and they provide a lot of detail on theirs, don't they? They're very, very good.
Brilliant.
I mean, finish measurement, the bust 48, that's 12 inches bigger.
Yeah. I know, that's just crazy, isn't it? So I'm very dutifully wearing my alabaster top, and here's another one that I made, which was two months ago, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. And this I made a size 10 because it is quite fitted. Yeah. My closet core t-shirt I make a size 8, so I've gone for a size 6 with this. My measurements would have put me easily 12 or 14, 12 I think. Yeah, that's 12 I think. So this has got, now you've confused me, but I think this has got 6 inches of ease instead for me. Yes, yeah. So it's 44.5 inches on the size 6, isn't it? The finished garment. Yes, is that right? And my bust is kind of between 38, 39, really. So I think that feels about right to me. So my bust is a 36. So I think I probably need to go for the 6 or the 8, because the waist is, you don't have to worry about the waist. I would say wouldn't you be nearer a 4 to a 6? Possibly, yeah. I mean, the waist, have they done like a hip? They haven't done a hip because it's not down to hip, is it? No. It's pretty roomy. And when you've got that bias cut handkerchief bit as well, that's going to give you a lot of extra space, isn't it? We'll be a bit tricky with that. Oh, yes, I've got nice length and short. Nice. Oh, and shows where the waist is. And the waist is should be just below where the length and shorten line is on that piece. So that's good, because I think I'll cut them out and I'll measure if the waist is where my waist is, and that'll help me to decide. And they can lift it up. Oh, that's a good idea. That's the one, and they've got the bust apex on there as well. That's why I was prepared to pay for the Closet Core Crew over anything else, is the detail they give you with things like the measurements, the waist, all that sort of thing. Is just, it's at another level to anything I've ever. But you know, the other thing that I'm really impressed with is when you actually join the crew, they give you with all the pages, it's like an inspiration kind of page, isn't it? I was just having a look this morning. So it's got 7 tips for sewing perfect facings, sewing with slippery fabrics, how to sew French seam. There's all sorts of different tips that are specific to that particular pattern. And the blog posts and stuff. So yeah, it's I think they hold your hand as well, don't they? They do. They're very, I think, you know, if someone was starting out, I would recommend them and Friday Pattern Company over any of the big pattern companies. Wow, it's going to be a really interesting sew, isn't it? Have you decided what you're going to do your first one in? Yes. Well, I've got a few, as always, I've got a few fabrics. So shall I show you now? Yeah. Ready for the fabrics. So I have ordered a few of these, and that they've kind of, because it's polyester, I think I can get away with polyester with this because it's quite flowy and it's not too tight to the body. I don't normally like to wear it, but this, the reason I chose this is because I don't need to worry about pattern matching, because it's all, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I kind of I like the fact that you can mix and match the patterns. So hang on, I have 3 ideas in one here, throwing them all at you. I've got these 3 cottons, which are slightly different colours. So there's a navy one and a grey one and a blue one. They're fairly lightweight. I've got some stripes as well. And I thought, will that just be too much? But you can play with the stripes in different directions. But you could even put like a plain one in that bit there, couldn't you? Well, the other thing that I thought was this grey, I don't know whether you can tell on there, but it's exactly the same colour as this. So I've got this, I got it off the swap table. I think it's like, you know, when you've got the viscose bit, it's got like that linen. I don't know if you can see the texture on it. Yeah. So it's got a bit more heft to it, a little bit. And I was thinking maybe then like the plain black or white shoulder, and then this. Oh, lovely. Yeah. And as it's off the swap table, then I don't get too sad if it goes a bit wrong. Yeah. But I've got this because I'm making a pair of trousers, and they've got plenty left. Yeah. So I thought that might be a good toile one. I think it's almost a shame not to play with the panels, isn't it, really? So that's what I'm thinking. It is a shame to not play with the pieces. So I might. See, I think polka dots and stripes are almost like a neutral when you put them with something like this. Brilliant.
So whether I could put like or like a gingham or something as the other piece. It might be time to turn out the scraps pile.
Scraps box. In fact, you could almost blindfold, just pull a few out.
Yeah.
And throw them together.
Yeah, I think mine would probably be more described as a scraps mountain.
So it's definitely, I'm quite excited to get it made. I think
it's going to be, I'm just looking at how those pieces, yeah, it is an exciting May. We're back for part 2.
Yep.
So okay, so we've both done like either a toile to one level or another, haven't we?
Yeah, and I decided to make the toile, the original toile that I was talking about, in this fabric, and I kind of thought, I said at first I think I was going to make it as is with this, and then I decided that I was going to color block, etc. Well, I've stuck with the original plan and just thought I'd keep it simple just to check the size, etc. So mine is made, it's all in one color.
Okay.
So I've got, as I say, quite a few bits and bobs to say about it,
but and I'm interested
to see what
you did make mine in, but I did do a bit of color blocking, so I made one shoulder after much umming and ahhing in black.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So I did think about doing like a gingham or something, but actually I decided to go for the black. So shall I put mine on? So I did try mine on this morning with different like bottom halves, because this is a very different shape top for me. We talked last time, didn't we, about I'm a tucking in person, and there's no way you could tuck this in. I have not put any of the facings on or anything like that. I just basted it together.
And what do you think of it? How do you feel in it?
I really like how different it is. I like that I've pushed myself to do something that's different than what's in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
But what size did you do?
I did the 6.
I did the 6 as well. I'm sure I did. Checking on the pattern piece. Yes, I did the 6. Even though I've done the 6, that there is still far too big.
That's so funny. So I will tell you exactly that. So what I really love is the shape of this angle here, which I didn't think I would, because it reflects. I don't know if I can push you back a little bit and show you. It reflects really nicely with the V at the bottom here. So I like that and that. But just wait till I turn round. Exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, see.
And what I've done is stupidly, because I thought, oh, it's only a toile, I'll use some old interfacing that I've got. So it's a double the effect, because the interfacing's a little bit stiff. Look how wide that is. It's absolutely. So what I need to do is, I was thinking, do I do a tuck at the side? Do I do what? I think if that wasn't so stiff, it wouldn't be as bad, because it would hang better. But I think what I'm going to do is undo the facing at the side and literally just shorten this back piece. Take the sides in, and I think then it'll be gorgeous, because the front flows. So I haven't interfaced it or anything yet, but even without it, it's so that side is fine. I think that's an appropriate amount of flare. But here, that's too much, and it needs to. If it was like that, it would be perfect then. I would take it out before you attach the facings. I would just take it out now. So I was thinking down the back, I might just take the back in. And what about, so lose the V, you mean? Lose the knot? Well, I can always recut the V, can't I? Although I'm not sure about the V anyway, but I think I quite like the V, having not been sure about it first. I think it's quite a cute feature. If it was just a plain shell top, the V would be like a really lovely feature. Yeah. But you've got so much else going on. I don't know. I love closet core details, but is it they threw too many details into one pattern? That's exactly what I thought at the start. But I think if you keep it all in one fabric, then it's sort of, it doesn't matter so much, if you know what I mean. So it's not so busy. Because I know the shape is like there at the side, that intentional step. But again, I don't know. It's just if it was part of a lovely shell top without all this other stuff. But it almost does look like, oh, did they do that bit wrong? I still love it. I have to say, I think it's really different. And I've made anything in my sewing room which isn't pinned down becomes Pomona pants at the minute. So I've made some Pomona pants to go with it. They're a bit pajama-y, and separately I think they work better. But I just think yeah, I do like it.
I like it, and I was worried there if I've done that right. Can you see the way that steps into there? But I think it is right.
Do you know what that reminds me? I recut my that yoke piece, the black piece that we've got there, because it didn't line up, funnily enough.
Literally yesterday lunch break, I cut out the pattern pieces. No, I didn't. So I'd cut out the pattern pieces Tuesday evening. Yesterday, my 1 hour lunch break, I cut the pieces out and basted it together. Yeah, so I was like, I've got to have something to talk to Sarah about. Yeah.
And looking at that now, I think if you had kept the black there and had the back all in black as well, that would be really quite cool.
Yeah, I nearly did that.
Your back piece coming over to the front, and then you've got your front piece going down to the V. I think that I
nearly did that, and I have got enough of the back, so I've only basted this with like a really giant stitch, so I could take the back off and do a smaller back, because I think if I take it in the middle, I can just recut the curve of the neck, and I could just cut it on the fold. Wow, I can't wait to watch your vlog when you share with everybody what your final one or whatever you're going to do. And again, Closet Core just giving us something interesting and different, which is why I love their patterns.
We've got our stuff, and we'll see what we can do with it.
Okay.
All right, nice to see you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so here I am after you've seen Sarah and I talking about our toiles, and I'm in my finished version. So yes, I've done all the facings. We shan't mention that was back to front, because it's a very specific shape. If you got it the wrong way around, it's back to front. I've done the facings in the sleeve. I haven't done the big facing at the back, which is like the V notch. You saw Sarah and I talking about it, and I didn't do it, and it still sticks out anyway. I did change the back to black, like Sarah and I discussed. I like that, but I sized down as well, so it's now at the top, sort of at the top it fits, but at the bottom it's still really wide. So what I'm going to cut to in a second is me modelling it for you with the right sort of trousers on. I haven't got the right sort of trousers on now. I did resolve this bit here because I realised that wasn't right where it had come to there. And like Sarah said, Sarah had hemmed and she wanted me to face the sleeve, so I did. Didn't change anything about the top apart from hemming it, which I did. So yes, it billows less at the side, so it does sort of bring it in a bit. So anyway, I'll cut to me now doing a full twirl for you. Love the neckline, really don't love that V at the back. Like the drapiness, but I put the arm facings in and it's made the armholes a bit tight, and you can see that round the neck, round the arms, that it's pulling slightly. Really unsure about the shortest side, because when I raise my arms, which you'll see in a minute, I'd want to end up wearing a vest top, and you'll see that. And look at that odd bit there. Really don't like that either. That's intentional. I checked the pattern, and there we go. Look at that. That's not something I'm loving. So, like the drapiness at the front, glad I took in the back, but it's still a bit too odd for me. Really interested in what you think. Okay, so final verdict. Still love Closet Core. Still love their details, things like this shape here, this bit here. Still love their ideas. Will I make this pattern again? I don't know. I need to sort of live with it a bit to decide that. It's just so far away from what else is in my wardrobe and how I would style it, that it could be a wardrobe or orphan, or as Sarah from My Handmade Wardrobe calls it, it could be a singlet or a single. So it needs to be ready to mingle to have things to wear with it. So I'm on the fence with this one. Overall, still loving being part of the Closet Core crew, but this pattern, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it with Sarah. I'm glad that I tried it. Will I do it again? Watch this space, I would say. So really hope you enjoyed this kind of collaboration where we show you the whole journey in one go. Don't forget to go and watch Sarah's episode because you'll see her final reveal and her final verdict as well. And do leave me a comment to let me know whether you like this style of vlog, whether you think this top is something I should try and work into my wardrobe, and also if you'd like me to do more like this as well. So catch you again soon. Bye.